What what it do, what it is. This is your new moon in Aquarius ceremony, and welcome to the new normal. Boom, 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 boom. I wanted to make sure we still had activation of the new moon. So I did this as early as possible. Well, not as early as possible, but yes, welcome to the new moon in Aquarius. Whether you're watching the replay or whether you're watching this live, we are here. All right. I just want to share this space and moment with you. Whatever you may be doing right now, this is timeless, by the way. So you could be watching this 50 years from now somehow. And, this transmission will serve to be relevant to you in any way, even if it's not. That is still a way. Okay. By the way, shout out to those of you who were at the tarot last night. Okay. Very powerful, very dope. Welcome to this beginning of the next era as we are facilitating the end game. I would like to remind you, shout out to those of you from Holland. Feel free to comment below where y'all from, Yeah. I want to remind you that 2020 was a miraculous period. As dark as it may look, a period that, I don't want to say plunged, but brought us into 4 years of darkness. I'm sorry. A period that has plunged us into 4 years of darkness. As of now, we're getting ready to break into new light, and I want to revisit this 4 years of darkness that a certain Dark Lord had taken control and usurpation under. Fulfilled the duties of his profession. I want to bring you to March 21st, 2020. Okay. I want to remind you of the nature of this sequence of events. And astrology has taught me how to look at every year and the planet transits as like movie or album rollouts. So just like how artists will have rollouts to bring anticipation to an album, the planets will literally show you the timeline of what the rollouts are and how they're going to play out and what's playing out. Okay. The zodiac, not the constellations, mind you, right? During this period, the sun at 1 degree Aries was in the constellation of Pisces, probably like 7 degrees or whatever. But we're talking about the zodiac, this mathematical division that really accounts for the direction and journey of the sun through its ecliptic path, intersected by the Earth's celestial equator. So no part of the zodiac is visible. The constellations are visible, but this zodiac you're looking at here is expressly invisible. It's just letting you know it's a clock. It's literally a clock. So you're seeing different hour and minute hands. And looking at this clock formation at the first day of the season, which is insane. This is this is one of the greatest rollouts of all time. It didn't feel like it at the time, but the world was plunged into literal darkness. Oh my God, this shit writes itself, bro. I can't lie. All right, so this was the activation of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Mars has a 2-year contract with the zodiac. All right, it's going to retrograde 1 out of those 2 years. So this initiated the end game. Mars had its first contract in Capricorn 2 years later. In Aquarius, that was the Russia-Ukraine 2 years later. in Pisces, 2024. All right, Palestine, and of course, Israel. So Mars, every 2 years, the god of war, signs contracts with several entities, which really is just activating these cycles. The planets activating these cycles at this stage, at the end, is what has been bringing to an end many facets of culture and collective traditions. Okay. So this was literally the four horsemen of the apocalypse. We had famine, Jupiter of abundance in its fall. And every time Jupiter has entered Capricorn, the market has predictably dipped. It happened in 2008. After, of course, in Sagittarius, it peaks in its dignity. You can't make this shit up. It happened in 2008 and it happened in 2020. Who knows if it'll happen again? I'm betting on it. I'm actually betting on it. But okay, we have Jupiter in its fall, famine. We have the god of war, Mars, war. We have Pluto, which is pestilence, and we have Saturn, which is death. Notable occurrences of this were H1N1, where Jupiter and Pluto were, I think, in Cancer, and then H2N3 when they were in Virgo. So like the 20s and the 40s, or the 60s and the 20s or whatever. And then, of course, they're back again together in Capricorn, another pandemic. So we had established that pestilence with Pluto gets expanded with Jupiter. And it's not the only, of course, aspect to denote this. But yeah, that being said, we had all four of these together. Okay, Saturn has gone through Aquarius. If I want to run you through this again, Aries to Gemini, the first three are the beginning game. This activates the characters in Aries, their values in Taurus, and their ideas, most of which may be conflicting, which sets up conflict. Okay, drama in Leo. But this is the activation. Then we have summer, the integrative game. This is the very next phase, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, which now begins to integrate upon what we activated here. We get deeper into the plot, drama kind of erupts, and then Virgo comes to solve the problem, right? We have the montage scene through Virgo because, of course, we have to really practice to make it perfect. And then we present all of that, right, where we were studying all night, Virgo, we were shooting all night at the gym. Boom, it's time for the game, Libra, right? It's time to present cardinally this. So this is the climax season. This range here are the best zodiac signs ever. Okay, I'm here. I don't want to admit that. Aries is the one, like, these are our ops. Libra, Scorpio, Sag. Don't think that we like these people, but they are the best, for better or for worse. Even the bad stuff they do is that they're the best at doing it, if that makes sense. So, like, yes, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, breakthrough. This is the climax of the movie. This is where we finally beat the villain, and we come to that peak level of like victory or defeat, right? And then boom, we have the end game. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. The end game is where it quite literally ends. Capricorn is the accomplished, what was accomplished or failed. Aquarius is the rewards that come with that, or the losses that come with that. And then Pisces is literally next to where you began. It's how you know a movie is good, because what has changed relative to the conflicts and themes that quite literally started the narrative. Okay, Aquarius, which is the narrator, by the way, evil genius incarnate. And then we have Pisces, which is easily beyond diabolical. But yes, the end game. Okay, so knowing that 2020 was the beginning of the end. Does that make sense? So we have the beginning game, we have the middle game, and then we have the end game. And out of the end game, we have three stages. We have the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we were in the beginning of the end. Oh my God. Because if you look at now, 5 years later, we are at the end of the end. Like, certain shit is just done. Okay. It's just done. Beginning of the end, end of the end. Right her. Okay. So this is the end game. This Aquarius season is quite literally simultaneously awakening the next 20-year era. And for context, the previous two eras were the birth of Gen Z, 95 to 2008, and then the birth of Gen Alpha, 2008 to 2024. All right. Now we're doing 2024 to 2044, which is the birth of Gen Beta. And I'm not trying to really like make a scene of this, but like you do know these are alien babies, right? You do know that none of these babies that are being born are in any way normal, and may signal the end of everything. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be born. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, do you know you're not giving birth to like human babies? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that most of these children will be birthed by the generation of crash outs, which is Gen Z? Do you know that this next 20-year cycle, the generation of crash outs come of age? So before they were crashing out, but they didn't necessarily have like the wisdom. Now they're more they're of age now, and they're still crash outs. They're still crash outs. They're still crash outs. It's just now they put like messages on bullet casings before they murk CEOs. So like, you know, I want to once again say this. Do you understand that these Pluto Aquarius babies are not human? They're not like us millennials and Gen X, where it's like, are they super psychic? They might have super psychic abilities, but we are still human. Like we still had emo phases. We are still human. Then Gen Z came through and it's like, no, you guys are weird. And now we have Gen Alpha and Gen Beta. They are not human. Look at me. Look at me. They're not. They're not. Honestly, Gen Alpha isn't even really fully human, but like they're kind of like the last. They're kind of like the last generation you could kind of give a pass, because like the apocalypse babies, the 2020 babies, they're not human. They're literally world enders. They're literally world enders. Like you gave birth to a world ender. Like who does that? Who has sex during the apocalypse and give birth to an apocalypse baby? Why do I sound crazy? Listen, this is why I'm calling this the new normal. Because up until this point, we've had an increasing collective sense of, wow, things are getting weirder. Things are getting weirder. Wow, people are getting more unhinged. So now at this checkpoint, this is the new normal. Whatever you think is too weird or out of pocket, like somebody having sex with 1,076 people in 12 hours, that's the new normal, baby. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, I gave you maybe whatever. Yes, like that's where it starts. All right, and we have to talk about the fact that some of you are having alien babies. It's just like, wow. Do you know these children are born fully telepathic? So when you're thinking all this stuff about, oh, I don't know why my son or daughter is doing, your baby is literally hearing you. Your baby is literally hearing you go like, Gucci, Gucci, goo. And the baby is like, why are these mortals doing these weird faces? Why do they you're trying to give birth to children like that. Little Stewie Griffins. I really don't understand. Like, I feel like you should, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because these babies are going to be born either way. I'm just saying, I think it's important to really grasp that. I didn't even plan to spend time just talking about this, but I feel like it's important to mention like these concepts, these themes, right? Gen Z, Gen Beta. You notice I didn't talk about Generation Alpha. I'm not going to say anything right now because I'm not going to say anything right now. They're going to come of age the cycle after this cycle. So I just, but yes, guys, we are at the end of the end, and that's going to lead into a brand new beginning. We're coming into the light. And to recap, and I'm going to tie all this into why this new moon in Aquarius is the centerpiece of all of this. So let's do a recap. Pluto's in Aquarius, right? Let's actually now go back 18 years. 2008, 2007. Can you believe such a period existed? Can you believe what we were thinking 2007, not even knowing that we would go through a multi-year arc of, you know, whether a man can use the bathroom, the woman's bathroom, like we didn't even know. And I'm just saying that as a plot point. That was a very important plot point for several years. Okay, and I wanted to, so you know how like that plot point just got canceled, like officially, like executive orders were made to stop a plot point. That has never really happened. You need to understand, even in American history, like that has never really happened like that before. That's what this time is more historic than you know. So I wanted to let you know how this really built up. In 2007, bro, we were coming out of a very weird period. It was Sagittarian and Aquarian dominant. And what do you know? Pluto goes into Capricorn, and we are screaming, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Or you were saying, why is that illegitimate president? Okay, you were somewhere in between the spectrum. All right, it was a magical period. It was a very interesting period. We didn't even know how fucked we were yet. Beyond the president, I'm not even talking about the presidency. I mean, like as a whole planet, we didn't even know. We didn't even know. We didn't even know. Like Lance to the Slaughter. Some people did know, but like it's cool. And I am not people. I was clueless as fuck back then. But it's cool. I might still even be clueless now. But it's cool. Okay. Because Pluto in Capricorn really brought in this current era we are just ending, right? Jupiter by 2011 began the evolution cycle that it finished 2022, 12-year cycle contract. And what we want to look at is 2012 when Neptune goes into Pisces, okay? Because this Neptune Pisces and Pluto Capricorn era brought in an awakening of the feminine within men and women, and came with the positives and also the negatives, the excess, the whole theme of men acting too much like women or being too feminine has actually more to do with the most powerful feminine themes and archetypes really completing themselves in this multi-level and multi-dimensional development. It also can service as like laughing gas being used for intense body surgery since 2008, where the surgery came in 4 years later, right? And like the reason why I want to really speak on this, almost like there was a delusion in the air, which is 100% Neptune. It was Poseidon, the god of the ocean, came back. Like the year the god of the ocean came back, there were like 2 cruise line disasters. Like you need to peep game, bro, because the planets will just let you know what time they're on. Yes, the day the god of the ocean came back into its home, the year there were 2 major cruise line disasters. Like get the fuck off my ocean, bitch! Like fucking out my like, and it's about to leave. This is where it entered. And it's about to leave. We're coming into one of the most legendary parties next month. Like if you know a Pisces and they invite you to their birthday, you are being invited to one of the most legendary parties in a lifetime. Even if you don't even do anything, like even if you just talk, like you really need to peep game of what's going down here. So the reason why I want to say that is because relative to all of this, okay, which is not feminine, it's not really feminization, it's an illusion. What looks like people are being more feminine isn't people being more feminine. It's accounting for the excess of a lack or balance of masculine and feminine that we saw collectively pushed for better or for worse, right? There are miraculous ways in which embracing the feminine has helped the collective. And then there were very toxic or manipulative ways that using the feminine suppressed other people, right? And this is using the masculine and feminine. It's not just strictly feminine, but the reason why it was such a distinct theme was really Pluto and Neptune. So fast forward to now, after Jupiter has initiated a new cycle, now Neptune is going to be in Aries and Pluto is in Aquarius, and Uranus that was in feminine Taurus. Mind you, Capricorn and Taurus, and Taurus are masculine yang. So when I say Taurus and Cap are feminine, I just mean it's earthly receptive nature. But Earth is masculine yang. It's double yang. So that's kind of a duality around that. But yeah, now Uranus is going to be in Gemini. And that's what's going to account for this hardcore switch, right? Where now in Turkey, another woman announced, hey, I'm going to have sex with 100 men. And they arrested her and her husband. Like, you're seeing this executive order signed to like end, chemical castration or using chemicals to like convince children who may not be old enough to consent to change their sex, just evil demonic shit. And then also, this whole, narrative, let's just say, those instances are bringing this now. I don't want to say rebalance. That was the South Node Libra, but it's bringing now this next era that's going to complete that feminine cap off with now a new masculine order. All right. A lot of themes that were addressed through like toxic masculinity. I think the red pill movement was a very feminine expression of men's issues. Soul Form quite literally nailed it. So now what happens when, and the important thing about that was actually needed for better and for worse. Now that the masculine portion of this is going to correct this and straighten this up, that feminine expression needed to expose what was wrong. Because what the feminine was doing was exposing what was deeply within both men and women. And there's a more receptive means with which this is handled that is hardcore switching masculine, where now everyone knows more what they want to do and what they're ready to stand on too. So we're going to see a complete transformation of these red pill movements, not for better or for worse too. The whole point, when I'm saying that things are going to shift masculine, I'm not saying that things are going to get better. I'm saying that all this fuckery we've seen in the feminine has just shifted to fuckery in the masculine. So you're going to see people being a lot more hard, more forward moving, more aggressive in the worst case, right? But like why that's very significant is this transcends any social movement. In coming out of that old cycle, this is also initiating into the light a brand new era, a brand new awareness. All right. So Pluto is going to be here for 20 years. Saturn is going to go around the zodiac for 30 years. Jupiter is doing its 12-year contract. Neptune takes 165 years to go around the zodiac. So the last time it was here was not only the 1800s, but the last time Neptune and Uranus was here was World War I. I mean, the Civil War in America. Okay. So, certain things to keep in mind. Because of the novel, and like I was using before, the analogies, before I was showing you how we were at the end game, this is setting up a new beginning game, right? By 2032, Saturn and Uranus will be in Cancer integrating. And it's paramount for this year and next year to be seen as really transitioning into um, you know, the next era. Another thing you can say is that excess of feminine energy and power suppressed more dangerous elements of the masculine. But in suppressing that, may not have allowed certain authentic elements of the masculine to express itself. So now that this is hardcore shifting into the masculine with the Aries, with the Aquarian, with the Gemini, now this can open up for so much more expression, but these suppressed aspects aren't going to be suppressed. So they're going to have more of a voice. They're going to have more of a platform to spread their ideals, like a red pill community, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's for better or for worse, because not everyone is good or bad. So that's why I'm not trying to say it's not going to make it better or worse. This is just the nature of how stuff is going to switch. Now, we may see very amazing and good things come as a result of this. But do you understand why, war broke out through this period? Like, war, the last time we had this energy, there was war. And especially if you look at what the Civil War represents. The Civil War represented a crucial period in America's history where it was deciding its identity. It was literally deciding what direction it wanted to go. And like part of the country split in that. And we are once again looking for our Ready Player One, where by this period, now not just America, like the whole world, just like before, it wasn't just limited to America, but like the whole world is, ready to move in that new direction. Take into the accounts of the drastic changes, right? The major facet of 2025 is in with the new, out with the old. And then 2026 is quite literally like we're in the new. We're in the new. 2026 is like the second episode of a brand new season series. And it's already been established through the first episode that we're on some new shit. The first episode is like coming into your favorite character, but like certain characters you're used to are not there. And now he's recapping what happened in the previous seasons and how there's the new stuff. So in episode 1, you're looking at these new themes, but you're addressing all the old seasons and you're cutting it off. It's like, okay, I'm on a new season. I'm on a new series. This isn't even the same television series. Okay. So 2025 is episode 1 like a mug. Absolutely. Absolutely. And certain people have 2020 as their episode 1. Certain people have 2019 as their episode 1. So I'm just using this in the purpose of this analogy. But 2025 is my analogy of episode 1 if we're talking about the Saturn cycle. So and Neptune as well. So this is a new season series that really kind of innovates concepts that weren't necessarily discussed since the 1800s. Everything from the 1800s to now. It's just like on a whole different level. Okay. So yeah. The first half of this year is kind of coming into that next frontier. And then the last half of this year is addressing everything you've completed since the last season and then basically just ending it for good. Most of these transits will not happen for like another century. So it's really big stuff. By the time we get here, this is monumental. And it's going to reflect, like the summer is not going to look like any other summer we've ever had. Now, that is kind of irrelevant to say because you can say that about any summer, but not really. I actually can stand on that. I can actually stand on that. I think this summer is going to feature technology. I feel like when I say that, it's like imagine the summer before smartphones were a thing, and then the summer immediately after smartphones were a thing. And now you see everyone with smartphones. You start to see like new things like reflected there. I think this is going to be that type of year. Damn, smash. All right, so welcome to the new normal. And the reason why Aquarius season is significant is this is the first of these three pillars. Okay, Aquarius season, Aries season, and then of course Gemini, but it's going to come in Leo season. All right, Leo season, as you see, is going to be a harvest of everything this new moon is activating right now. So this is a good reason why I want to start with, right? Oh, the masculine did not get worse or better on the go with them. I'm just speaking of the potentials. But the Leo season, I want to start this transit with Leo season because Leo season in August is going to be the harvest of everything we're activating right now, right? This new moon Aquarius is activating the knowledge of what's to come. This is why Aquarius is futuristic. It knows the future. It's causal. It's outside the physical. And now Leo is now the reintegrative post-activation of applying this knowledge into believing who you are and can be before in Leo you perform it on stage. So Aquarius is you writing the book and Leo is you performing it by heart on stage. Mercury is going to be retrograding. So your mind is going to actively be reevaluating the way you even perform, because before you were performing with a microphone, now you have this high-tech mic where you don't even need to hold anything and it captures your voice perfectly. So now it's like you're integrating this new pillar. The new wave has activated in Cancer. So like there's a whole new wave in Renaissance in a whole new direction. This new generation is taking things. Okay. So it's going to be epic. It's going to be the first time in 248 years we are harvesting the sun opposite Pluto after activating it in Aquarius. So we had this opposition last year, but by the time, but the sun was conjunct in Capricorn. So having it this year, this is going to be harvesting super strength that you activated supernatural energy from. And that just sounds sci-fi as fuck. So that's why I'm telling you, this is the new normal, and y'all are giving birth to alien babies. Crazy. All right. So these are the three pillars: Pluto and Aquarius, Neptune and Saturn and Aries, Uranus and Gemini. And then we got Zeus in its exaltation. All right. But yeah, if we look at what we've activated right now, this is one of the most important new moons in human history. Because like I was setting up before, the eclipse that we're going to have a month from now signals the end of the end. Before, in 6 months, we begin to bring in the brand new beginning. But before beginning, we have to end, right? And you're seeing this play out right now as old leaders and old ideas are getting phased out. Not that they may not come back or they may never come back, but, you know, it's definitely something to be said to even be alive for, because a lot of conflicts are getting ready to kind of kick off while many also end, or all of them end, or all of them kick off. I want to open up a variable possibility because that's what Pisces is. This is the belief, and it's the final test of the entire collective, to where the ripple effect of the consequences of all our actions collectively will, through this variable range as we begin this new era, lead into world peace or nuclear wastelands at either end of the extreme polarity. We can meet somewhere in the middle, right? But that's where everything that everyone believes and how it reflects in our actions, like these collectives we group ourselves in and war with each other or resolve them, that's what's going to really influence the celestial judgment that is happening on our humanity. It happens every 248 years. And yes, that is as crazy and weird as it sounds. So this is literally this world-ending eclipse That's going to kick off, for the next year and a half, March until, of course, by September, we'll literally be analyzing just how fucked we actually are. And that doesn't have to really be in a bad way, because some people will probably be looking at how rich they are, right? So this isn't neither good or bad. You're going to make it good or bad. But this 6-month arc is what is not only going to bring in the next 2 pillars and this new wave with Jupiter and Cancer, but we will now be analyzing how what we have believed through the eclipse next month, through Gemini, of now the foundation of what to think about it, how we actually integrate this, in real life, bring it to reality. And then, of course, we'll come back around in Pisces season again to now adjust our beliefs towards what we made real. And then, of course, we have the North Node in Aquarius, which is the alien invasion that I'm not allowed to talk about. So with that being said, no, real talk, before this world-ending eclipse, we have the start of this new era, the Sun-Pluto-Aquarius cycle over the next 20 years. All right. The ceremony that we're going to do for this is not necessarily that crazy of a ceremony, to be completely honest. We're not going to really, we're going to do the standard like intention, where we're all just going to make a wish or intention. There's 200 people watching live. Any of you guys watching live, you're effectively going to make a wish and send an intention, and everyone else watching with you is going to intend and wish for your wish to come true, the way you're going to wish for their wish to come true. The same simple, process we've done since for a few years. But what you're going to notice is that this is the new normal. So this is actually going to hit immediately. You're going to sense a new precedent where, a higher quality of how this is going to work, these collective metaphysical dynamics, right? And what you can do with it, all right? And then we're going to do a pick a card reading so that we can see what this new normal looks like for you. Then we're going to do a pick a card reading tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. That being said, right now, I want you to hold this intention in your mind. I want you to hold this intention in your mind. We're at 4 degrees of activation. The activation we had was at 10 degrees Aquarius. We are at 4 degrees of activation, meaning that the moon is 4 degrees away from the sun. So I want you to hold your wish or your intention in your mind. Now, here's the thing, okay? Saturn in Pisces speaks to a totality of your beliefs. So I want you to intend for something. It doesn't even have to be one thing, but I want you to intend moving forward, or it could be a wish, or it could be a goal that encompasses everything you want and everything you believe in. What do I feel? What do I mean by that? It's like, okay, I want a new car. I want a new house. I want a new business, right? I want a new dog. Or you can intend, right, to open a new office, driving your new car with the dog coming from your new house. Like, take all of that and know it as like one, and it doesn't have to be one, right? But like as a kind of condense them in a way. You don't have to do this. If you want to break it individually, you can. But what is the full knowledge? Okay, this Aquarius season is going to be done a little bit different. All right. Shout out to Heartfelt Vibes. All right. Happy solar return. What's very significant here is with this intention, this wish you make or this intention you make, you want to make it knowing that it's true, knowing that it's already here, that this intention is supernatural, so it has reached before you're aware of it. Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you, Cheza. This is beautiful. I didn't even think about that. So we're going to make a collective prayer here. All right. Now, let me visualize a day in the life of your perfect day. That's a really great, that's a really great practice you can do. It's a really great practice you can do. So I'm going to give you a visual. We got 198 here strong. So this is going to be lit. We have all the ingredients to make this lit. It's going to be fire. Okay. What I want you to see this as, we're going into Club Aqua. Since this is an Aquarius season new moon, we're all meeting in Club Aqua. Club Aqua is a causal space that exists through our minds. We can access it with our mind and imagination, and we can connect just like multiple people around the world have connected on this stream, right? We're already halfway there. So we're all going to meet at Club Aqua right now to do this ritual. And the entrance to get into Club Aqua is your intention. So you're being checked at the door by the bouncer. Club Aqua is pretty upscale. It's a little super. It's like it's a little outside of bougie. So Club Aqua don't want people who don't know what they're doing in their club. Like if you don't know what you want, if you know what you're doing, you can have all the money in the world. You can't come through. You have to. They want certain people. They want people who know who they are and what they have. Okay. So in order to get into this club, right? What do you know? And listen. Let's say you have $500 in your bank account right now, right? And you walk into this club like, I know I have 500 million in my bank account. I know. I'm not even putting a time limit on it. I know I have 500 million. They're going to let you in the club. They don't care if you have does that make sense? They don't care if you have $500 in your bank account. They're looking at someone who knows whatever actions they have to take to make that 500 million or however it comes, they know they have 500 million in their account. Does that make sense? So what do you know? So what is it that you know? And appreciate you, angels of the night. Take your time to really think about this. A lot of you already know right now, but there's 207 people watching. So once you get into this club, you're going to be with the rest of us in here, and that's where we're going to do the ritual. Real talk. Okay. All right. So take some time. It doesn't have to be one thing. Who do you know you are? What do you know you have? Okay. Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right. Beautiful. Welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to Club Aqua. I am your host, the Peace Dealer. Club Aqua loves Gemini hosts. They usually spend good money for Leo hosts. Leo hosts bring a lot more of a bigger crowd. But Gemini hosts, we right there. You know what I'm saying? If I can visualize it, it's already happening. Look, in Club Aqua, we don't see it to believe it. We believe it, and that's what we're seeing. Wait, I wanted to say it in a cool way. We don't need to believe it to see it. I'm sorry. We don't need to see it to believe it. in Infinity Gang. Shout out to the Infinity Years. How many of you know you're an Infinity Year? How many of you know this is that radical sense of worth that is making people millionaires overnight because they invested in a crypto and a 10x? And that is a horrible example. That's not the most responsible example. But I am saying, shout out to the long-term crypto builders and holders, right? But that being said, how many of you know that there's not a bank that can hold your net worth? And when I say an infinity year, I don't mean figuratively. I don't mean metaphorically. I don't mean like, I don't mean that your spirit is rich and that means you have like intangible riches. I mean that you have a rich spirit and you can get what you want, whether you have money or not. There are people in this chat who have gotten a car without having to buy it. They've won stuff because they just decided they have rich spirits. You're limitless. Welcome to Club Aqua. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little ritual on this mixer here. It's a collective spell. We're gonna send and cast our intentions to the collective, and we'll maintain it for 2 weeks, and then we're gonna perform it. I love the Aquarius new moons because like Aries is pretty straightforward. What we're gonna do is we're going to cultivate this intention, and in 2 weeks for the full moon, we're gonna perform it. We're gonna release it by performing it. You can perform it in whatever way. So imagine that in 2 weeks, you're going to be back in Club Aqua, and we're gonna perform our intentions, right? We're gonna actually, you can make a song, right? Extra homework that is not mandatory, but the intention that you make, write a poem about it, make a song, sing an existing song about it that already exists that you made or someone else already made. Make a construction process. If you're building a house, if you're building a toy, theme that around your intention so that when we come back in 2 weeks, even if it's not in Club Aqua in this chat or wherever you were in Club Aqua, you're expressing it, you're performing it. That's it. You do this for the next 2 weeks. And if you look at my ultimate manifestation playlist in my YouTube link or on my YouTube playlist, and I have the link down below, and you watch at least the first 2 videos, you're going to see instant results regardless, even if you weren't here right now. Okay. But I want to take a more practical approach to this. The experiment we're doing, this thought experiment, is we're collectively going to send out an intention, and I'm going to break down over the next 2 weeks what you're going to be subconsciously guided through the lunar phases of this process. We do this every month, but this one is a whole new precedent being established. Okay. So here's how we're going to do this magic ritual. The one we do next month is going to be the most magic intention-based ritual. The one next month, we're going to literally sign a contract for everything we could ever dream of. And we're going to have the audacity to believe we can achieve this. We did that last year, but this year is like the final send-off. It's like the culmination. All right. This one, we just want you to intend what you know. That's it. Okay. In your own words, when I count down from 5, I want you to say, I or we are limitless. I am limitless. I have an unlimited amount of everything. And my life is perfect. If you remember, these are the affirmations that we started April, May, and June. We activated those. Now we're completing it. Now we're back in Club Aqua after a whole year of realizing more of how our potential is evolving, and just cast the spell with your own mouth, or you can write it down any way you want to do this. Because I'm just giving you the base material. Some of you are going to know how to take this to the next level. You're doing it right now. You did it before you came, and I encourage you fully to do that. These are just base level ingredients. Please do anything you want with these. You can eat. You don't even have to do what I'm asking you to do. You can just transform it and do it in whatever way you want to do it, right? And if you're smart, like Amy Gill, you'll say them daily, right? If you really want more, repetition and consistent results, more consistent alignment, you can say it once. You can say it repeatedly. What's most important is that you know what you're saying. Now, with all this Pisces energy, or this Pisces dynamic, it's transcending belief in what and everything you believe is possible. Okay. Destiny is unlocking this. So I want you to know things about yourself that might be unrealistic to you right now. Because in less than a year, what might be unrealistic to you might actually be real. Like if you told certain people 2 years ago or 4 years ago that income tax is going to be abolished and countries will be paying America instead of America paying countries, they'd be like, stop lying. Tax isn't going in. And now the impossible is becoming possible right in front of your very eyes. Okay, in just a short 9 days alone. Okay, so, please do not shortchange yourself and believe that anything is out of reach for you. Please, please. You only have a cycle like this once in a lifetime. Please push the limits of what you think is possible here. So, what's everything that you know? And now we are going to do this ritual. The intention got you into Club Aqua for those of us who are just coming in. And now what I want us to do is to, while sitting in your intention of what you know you have and who you are, right? When I count down from 5, we are going to say we are limitless. We have an unlimited amount of anything and our lives are perfect. Or you can say, I am limitless. I have an unlimited amount of anything. My life is perfect. All right. You can say any other 3 things you want. You can say whatever you want. But the whole point is that we simultaneously and collectively say these intentions. That's it. What do you know? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We know we are limitless. We know we have an unlimited amount of anything. We know our lives are perfect. It's infinity, gang. Let's do this. Super simple. It was literally that simple. Now, the last part of this is in your own words, when I count down from 3, to now set the intention that everyone else's intentions in Club Aqua that have been made right now have come true. We know that all the intentions that were made have come true for the highest good of all, or immediately, however you want to say it. So 3, 2, 1. We know that everyone who has made intentions and their intentions are real, are true, are realized for the highest good in the greatest way, at the greatest time, right now. And so it is. You can say it however you want. So all we did was we set an intention and then we interlocked it by having 229 on YouTube and 17 on Instagram basically affirm like this, like doing that by yourself versus doing that with just 12 people, but we have like multiple times that. That's it. Now you can journal what's going to happen over the next week just off a simple intention. If you did this by yourself, it would still be effective. But you took advantage of this collective energy, and we're a part of a collective right now. And so you quite literally just exponentially multiplied your intentions. So now here's the thing. You just entered a state to enter this club. So when you leave this broadcast, if at any point the manifestation is perfect, so that you don't have to feel like you're doing it right or wrong. But let's play a game here. If at any point, thank you, Chosen 93, you begin to act in a way that is contrary from what you know you are, it's like you just won the lottery and you gave them an address for where they should send the check, but now you're in a different address. So even though that check is still coming to you, you're not in the house or space to receive it. So for the next 2 weeks, should you choose to accept, you must fixed, maintain, and stay in this vibration as you develop it. So you need to leave this broadcast knowing what it is. We limitless, baby. We already been know this, but now you're carrying forward your intentions, right? If that was, I know I'm making 50,000 extra dollars a month right now. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like today? Then that's it. It doesn't matter if now you got into an accident and you owe someone $10,000 tomorrow. You're making 50. You're making 50 racks in a month. You'll be good off that. Like you can. It's not even a problem. That's why Aquarius is the second to last sign. That requires mental fortitude. Some of you will call it delusion, but it's not being delusional. It's high level magic. You're using your imagination to craft your next moment. And then you're reinforcing your imagination with Virgo, your habits, to consistently align and bring it into reality. Through Gemini, your thoughts, and Sagittarius, your vision. This is literally the axis of magic, those 4 signs. Whether you like candles or use a magic wand, that's just, your own style. But congrats, what a time to be alive. All right. Now, for those of you who have taken that intention, here's how this is going to break down. You're going to leave this broadcast. We're going to step into tomorrow. This is going to now increase the strengthened understanding. By this time, we're going to be at a higher degree of activation. All right. The moon that is trining with Jupiter is going to expand this reevaluative experience of the vocabulary around what it is you are actually sowing the seeds for right now. Then the moon is going, and the square to Uranus is going to complete that previous cycle 3 weeks ago. And you're going to start to understand and know how your intention is rapidly manifesting supernaturally. This square right here is actually going to instantly realize how this is beginning to actually like bud. All right. Now, the moon in Pisces is immediately going to reach, see how this is 12 and this is 12? This is immediately going to reach 30 degrees of activation. All right. Activation is 0 to 90 degrees. The first 90 degrees of activation is broken in 0, 30, and 60. 30 is the second stage of activation. The supernatural energy that we have awakened with Pluto for the first time in 248 years is now manifesting the subconscious understanding, moon, of what to believe. Now that we've received this download and knowledge, now we can shape our imagination during this dream ball with Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. That won't happen again for another 165 years, which is crazy. This is like the last cycle here. And this is a totality with Saturn of everything that we can believe in order to now manifest this intention. So the moon in Pisces is going to have you actively experience this intention form through your imagination. You're going to start to see things shift. And the way you imagine it and your belief is going to direct how this is growing through the ground. Saturn is going to maintain this integrity of beliefs and put you in a position that, really shapes how much strengthened this has, and this is where you want to be fully fish-tarded. You don't want to limit yourself on what you think is possible. The square to Gemini is going to initially challenge what you're currently thinking so that it can account for what you are believing. If you now believe you have 50,000 extra dollars a month, then you have to adjust your current thinking to where it's like, oh, I need $50,000. Oh, well, I believe I have it. So yeah, I have it now. I'm expanding the vocab. The logic of Gemini can clash with the imaginative nature of Pisces because of a need to want to make sense. And this is where you can reprogram that language and make magic. Virgo is heavily analytical. The south node will give us somewhat of an analytical base to actually experience how it's really playing out real time. And then when the moon goes into Venus and Neptune, with the stability and base of Saturn, we can fully imagine and kind of get really more delusional with it. And Venus is going to smoothen it, polish it. It's going to feel very divine. It's going to sextile Uranus, and it's going to trine Mars, allowing us to direct this perspective of our beliefs towards what we feel we desire about it and where we want to take it, how we feel about it. So this brings us to 60 degrees of activation, 14 and 14. And now that we have shifted what we are going to begin to believe about this, we're going to apply those beliefs. If I believe I'm making $50,000 extra a month, well, the attitude of this intention through Aries is, well, I'm someone who makes $50,000 a month. I'm gonna now apply this active. That's the most important thing. You're actively experiencing this, so now we're actively going to direct this. I'm someone, whether you see it physically or not, I'm someone who makes this. This is the power. But we needed to imagine what we want that to look like. Now we can feel the authenticity of that. And this is what's going to direct this forward. All right. It's going to expand the vocabulary to align more with who you feel you are. And then, baby, boom, we have the 90-degree integration. Now, integration happens in 3 stages: 90 degrees to 180 degrees. We have 90, we have 120, we have 150. Cancer, Leo, Virgo. All right. This is where those seeds you planted mentally break through the ground in Taurus physiologically, physically. You're tasting, you're smelling, you're hearing your intention. All right. The seeds are breaking through the ground. This is going to be very natural and practically felt. Okay. The sextile to Saturn is going to revisit these beliefs you've committed to actually having integrity in. It's going to strengthen how naturally you can physically express this. All right. And once this goes over Uranus, what originally squared now reactivates a cycle that will further see rapid materialization of this. As with integration, you've put all the ingredients out on the table, and now integration is you putting the pepper with the mix and you're mixing it together. You're putting the hi-hat, the drum, the sample, you're starting to cook them together and perfect it. See how it actually mixes. And that's what you're going to see supernaturally here, sextile Neptune and Saturn keeping it stable. Oh, but now it gets crazier because the moon is going to go into Gemini, immediately expand your vocabulary, and don't sleep on the Pluto trines and squares, because that's what's going to really consistently keep with that new era theme. Where with Venus, that's also sextiling in Aries to apply this exaltation of your love life and where your heart is. It's now, whether in detriment or not, getting ready to retrograde soon, but pushing forward with this original novel direction. Translation, this is when Venus comes in Aries and starts smacking people in the face, because people forget the goddess of love is also a war goddess, and she gets pretty angry in Aries. Because she's out of the dream in Pisces, has to do with the show again. But like, yes, the moon in Gemini and now integrating and trining this is now fully expressing the knowledge of this intent by being able to have a fully fledged conversation and like actually know what the fuck you're talking about, which is crazy. Then we're going, oh, hold on. The moon that's squaring Pisces is revisiting the shift in your beliefs by now having you understand your thoughts directly, how they've evolved. And now you are challenged by making sure, okay, I do make $500,000 a month. And now anything I previously believed that doesn't align with this updated information, here's what I can do too, has to align. Or you will just come into incongruence when we push forward with the feeling to direct those beliefs, and you're held back because you don't really believe it like that, because conflicting thoughts got in the way. But the trine Aquarius is going to be pretty okay. I just wanted to rhyme. It's going to be awesome. All right. So the moon in Cancer squaring Venus is going to be pretty sensitive. But by the time Mercury conjuncts the sun and the moon conjuncts Mars, you're coming into a psychic and emotional understanding of how to integrate and tie together what you know. This is the point of this process where you have memorized this book you're going to perform. Now you're feeling how it is, right? Like imagine you just memorized lines through Gemini. Now you have to feel the emphasis of like how you're going to deliver the lines. Like, oh, I remember I say, get out of that car, you wicked thief. Don't ever play me in your life, right? Now the moon in Cancer is, get out of that car, you wicked thief. Don't ever play me in your life. See how you can feel that? And Mars is going to add this sexual power that really drives you forward as you are coming into an extraordinary epiphany where your brain's processing has caught up to your conscious awareness, synthesis of aligning mind and spirit. Very powerful day. And then, of course, we come into the full moon cycle. The moon is immediately going to begin to harvest this new cycle of awakening, which it'll do every 28 days. It's like a mini boss battle. That was a mouthful. And it's also going to be intense as fuck. You might feel like you're being jumped mercilessly, but you are the courageous lion. Okay, that was, yeah. Okay, so then we step in for real into this full moon that will now carry on this evolution. And I really just want to look at this opposition here. Boom, this is where we're going to start to harvest. We're going to come back for the full moon. And why that's significant is now you're on stage like, get out of that vehicle, you vile fiend! Don't you ever mess with me. Like, do you see the difference? This was originally in your head. You were cooking up gas right now. Like, oh, don't you ever get it. And then I'm going to say, don't you ever mess with me. Get out of here, you vile fiend. This is what we're doing now. And in 2 weeks, you're performing it. That's how I want you to approach everything you know you are intending to achieve. By the time the moon is in Scorpio, we are seeing the rewards. That's what makes this cycle pretty dope. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. In about a week from then, when we start Pisces season, the moon is going to be in Sagittarius. So we're going to be seeing visibly everything we dreamed of already begin to have completed its harvest before we activate one of the most legendary new moon cycles of all time. And considering that human history alone encompasses quite literal millennia, that is a very bold claim. That is a very bold claim. Okay, so this rollout for Aquarius season is fucking nuts. It's insane and it's supernatural. And you're going to, in a few couple of weeks, be introduced to what this new normal is. And some of you are going to enjoy it because it's going to make you breathe more than you've ever breathed before. And some of you are going to be terrified of it because you're going to see more unhingedness, but more expression than maybe you're comfortable with or used to. In good ways, in ugly ways, in neutral ways, new levels, new devils, of course. All right. What that mean? So yeah, I hope you're ready. This is really just to prepare you for this epic rabbit hole, this world-ending eclipse and rabbit hole that's going to end one era and bring in like maybe a new golden age. Who knows? Who really knows? We will see. But thank you for doing this ritual with me. And we're going to close out with pick a card reading. And we're going to see what cartomancy we can produce. No, I'm bad. I'm bad. Oh, Spirit Spirit is telling me to tell some of you guys something. Some of you guys are kicking off your villain arc this era. Yeah. Some of you had like a lost hero villain arc. Like some of you, if not all of you, you're kicking off a very epic villain arc. Some of you, you're going to, if you're already a hero, you're going to step into the next level of heroism, or just kind of go deeper layers and nuances into what it means to kind of defend the status quos you fight for. But some of you are getting ready to turn into full on, well, it's not like you're the villain. Some of you watching me, you are the villain. You know it. I know it. You're the villain. Okay. But some of you, you're not the villain. You're just going to go on a villain arc. All right. I just want to make sure that's clear. Just because you go on a villain arc doesn't really mean you're a villain. A classical hero may have a villain arc, but then return to status quo, do a face turn. You know what I mean? But the villain arc is going to be villain arcing. Literally, the arc is going to be through Aquarius, coming out to Leo, the realm of heroes. I just want to let you know. So yeah, I think if some of you already felt that that's what's happening, I wanted to confirm that's what's happening. And it's going to be epic. The villain arc is only going to be lame if you don't have integrity and you're just kind of like you just don't really have a cause to what you're doing. You just kind of want attention or whatnot. But some of you are going to be like destroying status quos and going against status quos that may see you as less than you are, or are not necessarily conducive for you or whatever. And yeah, it's it's not always good to be the hero. It's not always bad to be the villain. It really just depends on what status quo you are fighting for or against. Okay. So all right, underlying theme we have is the magician, baby. Mercury, I think, is one of the stars of the season, just with the conjunction alone. That's going to happen 21 degrees. Square Uranus, by the way. So that's just going to be the peak of innovation, literally the peak of innovation. Other than that, shout out to the good villains. Other than that, you have all the resources you need. So when we said that, like, if you know you make $50,000 extra a month, know that you have everything you need to do it. All right. Even if that's quite literally just your intention. So this is going to really awaken at a more extraordinary supernatural level, instant manifestation, being more cognizant around the process of your style, and, effectively turning your thoughts into reality through your resourcefulness and through any skills that you really excel at. So we have pile 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do pile 1. All right. For those of you who were in Club Aquarius, what is the gift that this new moon is activating en route with your intention? We have the sun. All right. This gift is the light of joy. It's the best card in the tarot. It's success in every era of your life. It's lighting the path forward for the future. And it's from your heart and soul exuding pure, unadulterated happiness. Okay. So I think this will be very reassuring, especially for those of you who may realistically have gone through a lot of rainy days. Maybe it's been dark where you were at, and that light is coming through you. This is going to bring amazing growth clarity to much of what you may have been in the dark in, or maybe it's always been sunny. This is very fun. it's quite literally main character energy too. So pile one, you probably are becoming or already the main character. Now, what is the breakthrough that is occurring and the completion? We have temperance. So temperance is saying that this happiness and this light isn't just a one-off episode. You're going to apply great management and moderation in order to ensure that this main character energy and light stays for good. This is going to have you incorporate elements that maybe you're not used to mixing in order to create something you may have never imagined, which is awesome. And the outcome we have here is the moon. So this is very deep because with the sun, temperance, and the moon, Pawan, the light that you're being gifted with, this is Pisces, by the way. It's going to immerse you into the depth of your subconscious mind. Temperance is associated with Sagittarius, and it is going to light up your inner world so that with temperance, you are literally fusing the external objective reality and your internal subjective world. The moon and the sun is like God level alchemy. So, Paul, one, you really ate with this. You really did eat with this. And with the magician as an underlying theme, that's really going to allow you to manifest much more magically, much more efficiently. The breakthrough is alchemy in your own personal style. And it's really geared around connecting the conscious and subconscious minds. So that's actually pretty goddamn dope. I love that. Called for such a time as this. That's beautiful. So next we're going to do pile dose. Okay. Pile two. Guys, a Sagittarius lady told me that her 14-year-old or 11-year-old Virgo daughter, saw me on a magic moon message and asked her mom, why is his lips chapped? Mom, why is his lips ashy? This is an 11-year-old Virgo. Okay, Virgo, look, I understand. I should know better. I get it. But I'm not going to ask you to have mercy, right? The literal Hodge twins, two Virgos, clown me because I didn't brush my beard. Hey, yo, brush your beard. Get this Negro off. And I couldn't even be mad because my beard did need to be brushed. Like, it is what it is. But, like, regardless, like, Virgo is just relentless. Whether they're older or 11 years old, cut me a break. Like, I'm not Libra. I'm not trying to groom myself. I probably should. That was stupid as fuck to say. That was so dumb. But, like, you feel me? Like, do you know, like, how was I supposed to feel? And, of course, Sagittarius is telling me, yeah, my Virgo daughter said you was crusty as fuck, my G. Like, you like, come on. How am I supposed to respond to that? I had to be like, well, you know how Virgo is. Come on. Now, I didn't have to have my lips chapped. You feel me? Ooh, okay, Libra. Okay, we're like, hold on. All right. So, what is the gift? The crazy thing is I do get donated chapstick. Y'all are not slick. Like, some of y'all are not slick at all. Like, some of you will give me like chapstick and I'm like, oh, thank you. And like, I still have it. I use it occasionally. I just be forgetting to use it. Like, it'd be so confusing. Like, hey, you should get this lotion. And I don't have to tell them. I kind of do. I just be forgetting to use it. Like, I don't be forgetting, but I just realized after the fact, like, oops, lady up. Virgos are cutthroat. Virgos are definitely cutthroat. Okay. So, pile two, What is the gift we have? Nah, man, put it on. Hold on. Oh God. Okay. See, a little bit of lotion's never hurt me. That took less than like 2 minutes. Okay. He's just not about that life. Marilyn, thank you. I don't like, I have nothing in my sixth in Libra. That's why I love Libra, because Libra is in my sixth house of like lifestyle. And they'll literally just like, here, like, do this. So like, oh, nice. And I just forget to take the notes back. But it's cool. Oh, shit. And I do, the crazy thing is I do have combs too. I have like 2 combs. I just kind of leave them there. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Pile 2, I've literally just been rambling. All right, so what's your gift? We got the lovers, baby. Lovey dovey. You see why I had to get my lips? You know what I'm saying? I had to get, because we get sexy. We get sexy, you know. Gemini. Okay. The gift is sexual, mental, and physical, but really sexual stimulation. Even if you're not having sex, like very, 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 very heartfelt love. And I would say being with your soulmate as well. Okay. Yup. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh. If I step into my final form and I'm just dripping sexy chocolate, y'all won't even pay attention to me. You'll be like, oh, he's feeling, yes, yes. No, I have to be a little cringe. I have to be, a little ugly just so I can balance it. Just so I can balance. You feel me? Like it is what it is. Woo, okay. So the Lover's card is pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is also going to be exploring fun in certain ways with another, or at least from heart and mind. Okay. No way, Lisa. That is brutal. That is brutal. Okay. So what is the breakthrough? The breakthrough that we have is the Hermit. This is going to be you integrating the stimulation with a fuller understanding of who you are and the specialization and mastery of certain techniques that only you can do. So it's like mastering your inner rhythms. And this is the breakthrough. So if you pick pile 2, I think many of you have really taken time for yourself. This could have been extroverted with hundreds of people around you, or you could have been introverted, but you minded more your own inner process, your own wisdom. This is representing a mastery of certain specialization as well. So when it comes to love, especially, you're breaking through the privacy not secrecy, but I'll say the privacy with which you are enjoying this as well. Um, very, very cozy, but I think very personal. Coming in to understand things coming from your truest self. And once again, mastering of that inner rhythm. All right. Pisces always enters the chat at the right time. Shout out to Kobe. And the outcome we have is the Chariot. So you're going to rush past the finish line and achieve a major W. This is achieved through determination and willpower, actually taking that action. And I really like that the breakthrough is the Hermit, because this is achieved through something very unique to you. So, the Hermit card is like being a master Yu-Gi-Oh player, or being like one of 5 neurosurgeons in a town that, doesn't really have that much specialization in the physicians they can like hire. So this is victory for some of you in love, moving forward with a soulmate that you align with. But I also see this as moving forward with creative projects, things that you love, things that bring excitement and fun to you. And congratulations. So last but not least, we do have Pile Tree. Ooh. Pile Tree. Chunga. Whew. Horses don't stop, they keep going. Facts. All right, Pile Tree. Pile 3. See what 3 hitting for. Let's go. No, I should go. I definitely probably should go. I don't think I've been to anywhere in the Caribbean except for Puerto Rico in 2012. And that was a mission with Aquarius that I'll never forget. But what's the gift we have, Pile 3? Death, baby. This is the gift of transformation and weeding out everything that no longer serves you in this life. Okay. This is the great change that is going to shift everything that is no longer needed for where you are headed to and where you are going. Okay. And the reason why that's significant is a lot of fat is being cut and a lot of skin is being shed. Perfect for the year of the snake. This is going to be total and complete transformation. Some of you, you're going to look unrecognizable. Your situation is going to look unrecognizable. And I think that's beautiful as a gift, Shout out to Empress Adele. Good Lord. You feel me? The breakthrough we have with this is the Hangman, which I love. It comes right before death. So this is going to allow for a supreme level of surrender. All right. Hades, the Lord of transformation, is in your sign. I would say this transformation is going to allow you to transform your personality, your spirituality. The breakthrough is that through this transformation, your perspective about your current situation is going to completely change. And the reason why you need to surrender is there's nothing that you do physically or mentally to change this perspective. It's just you have to surrender to that process. You have to surrender to thinking you have to do anything. That's why that Hangman is tied up, right? It's Odin sacrificing himself to himself, right? It's letting go of your mortal limitations. And thankfully being coincided with this transformation, it's really a powerful process that is inducing your own supernatural qualities. Remember, we do have the magician here. So the magician through this is now transforming the way you manifest and create magic as well, leading to the outcome, which is the Hierophant, a marriage card. But the Hierophant is also going to represent organizations or traditions that unlock the keys of knowledge and wisdom. All right. This could be you transforming into a leader where people come to and who people come to for guidance. This could be you applying authority you have to relative to a perspective field and being like the main producer. You could also be in the gang shit and become a leader of a gang. Have you tried illicit and illegal activity, racketeering? Um, you know, if you knew you would never get caught with a RICO charge, would you lead a gang? You know, would you lead that gang with integrity instead of lawlessness? You know, these are questions that will be answered through this Hierophant here. All right. So that was awesome. Okay. And yep, Hokage. Some of you that's you becoming Raikage, Hokage, Kazakage. Okay. So yes, that was a very successful new moon ceremony. Shout out to Christian Dixie. All right. I'm glad that we could set these intentions together. And all you have to do is for the next 2 weeks, leave this broadcast. After you leave this broadcast, know what it is you're stepping into. Because we know what's up. All right. Theo Vaughn is Pisces, actually. Honestly, I don't deserve a Theo Vaughn comparison. That man is beyond diabolical. But I'm glad you can see pieces of him. I'm not going to say in me because I had to say pause, but I'm glad you can see elements of him through me. I think that's what's up. Yeah. Welcome to the new normal. I'm probably going to say this again next year. And then I'm probably going to say it again 2017. But y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time.